You join me today as we come to the end of our series, Project Turnaround, for this year anyway. Let me know in the comments whether you want me to do a similar series in FM24. Otherwise, it's a season and series review. Hello and welcome to episode 22, our final episode of Project Turnaround, where we have tried to turn around one of the sides that fell out of the Premier League last season. In our case, it has been Brentford. My name is Mark, and on today's episode, of course, we have for you the end of series, end of season reviews. And we're going to have a deep dive into all the bits that we normally do when we have a look at our end of season. And I think we'd probably start at the best place to start, and that is where we took over Brentford, of course, at the end of last season. They were down, if we can find the right bits here. I'm completely lost. Overview, here we go. As you'll see, last season we were relegated, or they were relegated from the Premier League, finished 18th in the Premier League in that season, and there we go, 18th, 33 points, just 2 points adrift of Nottingham Forest, who finished in 17th place. Wolves and Crystal Palace going down with them, of course, and that is basically did the 7 games they won in that season, beating Aston Villa, Leicester, Crystal Palace, Wolves, Manchester United all at home, beating Tottenham and Fulham away. 12 draws, 19 losses. We won't go through all the losses, minus 23. And the objective, of course, was to turn them around and bring them back up to the Premier League. And as you know, it was something that we did. We'll have a deep dive into this in due course. I'm not quite sure what I've done now. That's the current season of the Premier League. Of course, what we want to do is go down one and go to the Championship League table. There we go, finishing with 102 points for the season. Lots of records broken along the way. As I said, we will have a deep dive into that in due course. But I think what is the right thing to do now is to have a review of the season, and then we'll have a proper review of the series. And so here is our end of season review at Brentford, as we always start with a look at the new arrivals. And top of the pops, the man who scored 35 goals and made 8 assists. That's a goal contribution of 43. By my calculation, he was the star signing of the season. Lewis Openda, coming from Lens, who we played in the other series, in the other save. He came in from Lens. £12.5 million we paid for him. What a bargain, I would say. 36 appearances, 7 from the bench. He scored 35 goals, as I say, 8 assists, a 7.42. Not far behind him, though, Ben Brereton Diaz came in from Blackburn for £15 million. 14 appearances, 2 from the bench, 10 goals and 4 assists. He contributed 14. A rather big signing, which I think was somebody that, well worth the buy. Gerard Brathwaite came in from Everton for £32.5 million, making 14 appearances, 4 from the bench, scored 5 goals and a 7.24. Enzo Lafay from Lorient for £10.75 million, 23 appearances, 18 from the bench, 6 goals, 14 assists. So he's the top assist man, 14 assists, contributing 20 goals, 7.11. Perez from Leicester for 35 appearances, 14 from the bench, 11 and 13, a 7.07. Pablo Mari, who was on loan. I think he's on loan anyway. Are you on loan? Yeah. loaned from Arsenal, joining permanently. Yes, we've signed him permanently. That's right. 1.6 million, 35 appearances, 7 from the bench, 6 goals and 1 assist, 7.04. And Andy Zicari, who came in from Brighton, 1.5 million, 16 appearances, 15 from the bench, 8 goals, 4 assists. That's 12 goals, a 7.03. And then obviously the rest of them: Madi Camara, Carl Starfelt, Winks, Tavares on loan from Arsenal, Anthony Patterson, Sharaway, Shackleton, Roberts and Preet. They all made those contributions. But as I say, star signing Lewis Openda, of course, transfers out. Who's done the best since they left? That man Mbuemo, who was really pain in the arse, wasn't he, with us here? Made 7 appearances at Transport. We sold him for 20 million, 4 goals, 3 assists, 7.90 on the XG. But hey, he was just causing us problems, so deserved to go, really. Kramer, who left us, he made 6 appearances, scored 1 goal, 7.35. Alex Gilbert went to Shamrock Rovers, 10 appearances, 7 from the bench, 6 goals, 2 assists, 7.15. Onyeka went to Nashville for 4.8 million. That was in January, I think. 12 appearances, 3 goals, 1 assist, 7.13. And Ivan Toney, he also left, went to Tottenham, 25 million, 4 appearances, 24 from the bench, 10 goals and 2 assists, a 7.08 all in all. So that is how the transfers in, transfers out have been. And the season's results, Sky Bet Championship, the board only give us a C+. The board pleased that the team won promotion. Well, I thought would have expected a slightly better thingy than that. Gain automatic promotion to the Premier League was the board expectation. Finished second with a home average attendance of 14,767, only 85% of the total. Lewis Openda top scorer with 30 goals. The league table we will do a deep dive into in due course. The Emirates FA Cup, be competitive in the FA Cup. Finished in the semi-final. We lost to Arsenal, of course, 3-2 in that one. Tottenham winning the FA Cup, beating Arsenal by 1-0. Top scorers were Yahoa Yamalak and Andy Zicari, both scoring 3 goals in that competition. In the Carabao Cup, we finished in the quarter-final. Keane, Lewis Potter and Lewis Openda both scoring 3 goals in that one to get us through to the quarter-final, where we were knocked out by Bristol City by 3-0. Moments to remember. The biggest win was a 5-1 win against Huddersfield. Berton Diaz scoring a hat-trick on that occasion. Pablo Mari and Openda scoring a brace to give us a 5-1 win. Troy Deeney scoring for Huddersfield. The match to remember was the 2-0 win against Watford. Perez and Openda on that occasion. And the goal of the season happened to be the goal from Enzo Laffi in the match against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. It was a free kick on 90 minutes, which managed to secure a draw. And I suppose at the end of the day, it's probably made the difference. Laffi, lovely top corner, and the goalkeeper not getting anywhere near it. So that was a good draw in that one. Finances, nothing really to tell you about. It's not focusing up. Everything was down, I think, on previous year, which probably comes about by the fact that we dropped down a league. The best 11, how it ended up: Rare in goal, Sorensen, Janssen, Mari and Stevens are back line, Bidstrop, Winks and Laffi in midfield. Yamalak, who made that position behind the front two his own. Perez and Openda up front. I don't totally agree with that. I don't think that potentially was our best 11. But there you go. awards then. I won the Championship Manager of the Month in February and also again in April. Fans Player of the Season was Lewis Openda. Young Player of the Season, Openda. Signing of the Season, Openda. Goal of the Season, we've just seen it, Enzo Laffi. Top goal scorer, 35 goals for the season, Lewis Openda. Most assists, Enzo Laffi, 14. Most Player of the Match Awards, Lewis Openda with 10. Average rating 7.4 was Lewis Openda. He basically won away with everything. Most passes complete in 90 minutes was Carl Starfelt, 61 in 90. So very good for him. Competition awards, we didn't get any. Record breakers, Enzo Laffi, his 14 assists was a record, as was Player of the Match Awards, Lewis Openda. 14 yellow cards and 1 red for Pablo Mari. He was the naughty boy of the season. And Gerard Bowen was the highest transfer fee at $32.5 million. Sky Sports News, Zoe Shaw says they say it's important to get off to a good start, but it rings as true as ever for Brentford as they celebrate winning promotion. We didn't have a particularly good start to the season, to be fair. The spell of football that at the start of the season was the making of Brentford. Again, don't agree. We're not going to look at that. We're going to move on. So what we're going to do then is we're going to do a deep dive into the table. We'll do it once the playoffs are finished and we can see who was promoted through the playoffs. So here is the final table. I can tell you Wolves have beaten Blackburn in the playoff final. Wolves beating Bristol City in their leg. Blackburn beating Sheffield United. Wolves are then beating, as I say, Blackburn in that, and they beat them on penalties. So a very tight affair. So this is how the table finished. Crystal Palace top on 113 points, runaway leaders really, and we'll have a look at the split between first half and second half of the season. I think they had a better first half really. We finished in second on 102 points, 104 goals. So we scored more goals than anybody in the league, but conceded a few more than Crystal Palace. Sheffield United finished third on 89 points, some 13 points adrift in the end. Wolves fourth on 87, then came Bristol City fifth on 83, and Blackburn sixth on 79 points, just outside the playoffs. Burnley finished on 78 points, then came Luton and Watford on 72. Derby on 71, Millwall. Am I looking at this wrong? Hull City, sorry, on 71. Derby on 71. Then a gap down to Millwall in 12th place on 62. And so on. Being relegated, Rotherham, Sheffield Wednesday and Huddersfield going down. Huddersfield and Sheffield Wednesday well adrift of Peterborough in 21st place. Rotherham fighting pretty much till the end, but didn't quite make it. And that's how their season finished. Let's have a quick breakdown then. Home records, Crystal Palace had the best home record, losing just once at home, that against Sheffield United when they lost 2-1. Their last 5 home games they won straight off. We lost 2 of no we didn't, I'm looking at the wrong one. We won our last 5 straight as well. Bristol City losing 2 of their home games in the run-in, but Crystal Palace, as I say, best home record, 60 points. Bristol City on 59. We were then on 51. We lost 4 in the season. Coventry beat us 2-1. Sunderland beat us 2-1. Millwall beat us 3-0. And Crystal Palace beat us 2-1, all at home. Down the bottom of the teams that were relegated, Rotherham probably had the best home record, albeit they lost their last 5 games at home. 30 points in their relegation season, but the bottom 2, Sheffield Wednesday and Huddersfield, both getting relegated, of course. Huddersfield only winning 2 games at home, those games against Bristol City and ourselves. They had a poor season at home. Away from home, the away records, well, we were second best to Crystal Palace again. They had a good away thing, losing 4 times away from home. Luton Town 3-2, Stoke 2-1, Sheffield Wednesday 1-0 and Preston 4-2. We only lost twice away from home. It was a good record away from home, to be fair. Losing to Blackburn 3-1 and Huddersfield 2-1. So, yeah, we were quite good. But Crystal Palace, 53 points from their 23 away games. We had 51 points from our 23 away games, then a bit of a gap down to Sheffield United and Wolves on 40, Blackburn on 36 and Burnley on 35. Bristol City's away form was the one that did for them, only winning 6 times away from home, 24 points picked up. Again, the bottom 3 being relegated as Rotherham's away record was torrid, only picking up 10 points, as did Huddersfield. Sheffield Wednesday not doing much better with 11 points. First half of the season, Crystal Palace run away, as I said. They did lose 3 matches in that first half of the season, but they were run away on 56 points. We were down there in 5th place halfway through the season. 41 points from the first half of the season. Rotherham second half must have been bad because they were up here on 27 points. Sheffield Wednesday, Swansea, Huddersfield and Queen's Park Rangers in that drop zone as it was around about the halfway through the season. Second half of the season, Queen's Park Rangers had a fantastic second half of the season. Look at that. We were best in the second half of the season. We didn't lose any matches in that second half of the season, as we already know. 61 points we picked up. Crystal Palace second on 57. Wolves are third on 46. Then come Bristol City and Derby County and Luton and Queen's Park Rangers. Rotherham, Huddersfield and Sheffield Wednesday again having poor second halves of the seasons, to the point that Huddersfield and Sheffield Wednesday only won 1 game each in that second half. Rotherham only picking up 3 wins, which did for them in the end. The combined again. Confirmation of that. The last 5 games, the run-in. Derby County had the best run-in. Won 5 straight on their last 5 games. We didn't do too badly. 1-4, drew 1. Crystal Palace 1-3, drew 1, lost 1. And Queen's Park Rangers, they won 3, drew 1 and lost 1 as well. So that's how the season bared out. On that run-in, Birmingham, Sheffield Wednesday and Huddersfield, 2 teams that were relegated, but Birmingham only won 1, Watford only won 1, Coventry and Peterborough only winning 1 game. Blackburn didn't win any games, drew 4 and lost 1. Rotherham winning 1, drawing 1 and losing 3 in that final run-in. The media predictions then, as we see, they had us down in second place. We finished second, so we dutifully did what they asked for us. Wolves were promoted, but they were expected to go up as champions. Crystal Palace were expected to be third, but actually finished first. Sheffield United, who finished third, were expected to finish 5th, and the relegated sides expected to go down. Rotherham were expected to go down and went down in the position that they were expected to. Birmingham did better than was expected. They were expected to go down in 23rd, and the team that expected to go down in 24th actually went down in 23rd, and that was Sheffield Wednesday. So that is how the season really prevailed itself. We'll have a quick look now down through, as we said at the start of the season, said we had a good start to the season. I suppose we did, really. Actually, I said we didn't, but I suppose when you think about it, we hadn't lost in our first 4 games. Lost to Huddersfield then, and had a little bit of a wonky time, drew a couple, lost a couple if we exclude the EFL Cup. And just look specifically, if we just look at specifically at the, what's happened now? What have I done? What have I done? What have I done? Premier League, no competition. I realise now my error of my way. Premier League is no good, is it? It's Championship we want. That's what we wanted. There we go. Right, so we can just see the Championship eked out now. and we'll see our season, how it panned out. So, I'll go back to our early season promotion. It wasn't fantastic. I mean, in the first 8 games, we'd only won 3 of them. We'd drawn 3 and lost 2, so it wasn't fantastic. And then, as you see, we lost a couple more, and we were, by that stage, looking a bit willy wonky as we come down here. And then Derby County and Swansea managed to picking up wins then, lost to Sunderland. And then we went on a little bit of a run. Nice run until we met Coventry, where we lost 2-1 in December. And that was it. After that, we were unbeaten for the rest of the season. And fine it was too. And changed our formation here. And it did us good. We only, from changing our formation, we drew 4 games out of that lot. And really had quite a decent run. Right, let's put the filters back on, because what we'll do is we'll get rid of that, and we'll have a look at our FA Cup run. There we go. Replays against Chelsea and Middlesbrough got us through to a 5th round against Crystal Palace. A 5-1 win there. A 2-1 win against Brighton in the quarterfinal, but we couldn't get past Arsenal. Even though Gerard Braithwaite had given us a 2-goal lead, they come back and beat us by 3 goals to 2. In the Carabao Cup, Leicester in the second round, we beat them on penalties. Then Blackpool was a 4-1 win in the 3rd round, a 4-2 win against Carlisle in the 4th round, losing to Bristol City in the quarter-final. So that is how our season appeared. And one final thing left to do, of course, if we can go back and do it. Past positions, that's the one we want to do. Click on the right bit. As you'll see, I suppose we didn't have too bad a start, and then it dropped away. This was the period, our low point against Millwall, and that 3-0 loss when we hit 16th. It was looking pretty desperate at that point, but then we started to turn it around. Had a little bit of a blip there. But then we were on an upward trajectory. Once we got to here, it was a time to hit 2nd place, and that's pretty much where we stayed. We hit 2nd place after 31 matches, the 5-3 win against Sheffield United, and there we stayed until the end of the season, getting that promotion back to the Premier League, which is rather good. 44, nearly 45 million pounds going into the transfer window. We have a wage budget of 1,263,000, of which at the moment we're only spending about 1 million of it. So we have a nice tidy bit of budget to utilise there in transfers in the transfer window, which would be rather splendid. Well, I don't know that there's much else to tell you. That is pretty much the end of the series. Really just to sort of say that if I go back to this screen, this would be a better screen to go back to. If I go back, you can see me. There we go. You can see me in all my glory. All I can say is thank you very much for watching the series. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you'd like me to do a similar series in the FM24 cycle, then the best way of letting me know is down in the comments if you would. Well, I do hope you enjoyed this series of Project Turnaround. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification, drop in the comments what you liked about the series, what you'd like to see me do if we do a similar series again next time round. And of course, by hitting the notification button, it keeps you up to date with all our series that are released. And the best way of keeping up to date with what's happening on this channel is to follow me on Twitter at JustOffsideFM. Our new series, FM24 series, will be starting next Tuesday, and we'll go out every Tuesday at 4:15 p.m. In this slot as it is. So you can catch up, find out what that series is all about by joining us next Tuesday. All I can say is thank you for watching the series. Hope to see you for our new series on Tuesday. Until then, I wish you a very, very good weekend. Bye-bye.